Is vaping safer than traditional cigarettes? Some say it's a question of nicotine harm reduction, while others say vaping may be just as dangerous. And in fact, sometimes it can kill people a lot faster than cigarettes. Joining me now to discuss the issue is GrimmGreen, a vaping expert and advocate, and Dr. Jessica Sims, who's a regional director with Regal Medical Services and a former board member with the American Heart Association. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having me.
So, Nicholas, I'd like to start with you. Why do you vape, and tell me, what are the benefits to you?
I vape so that I don't smoke traditional deadly combustible tobacco cigarettes. I started smoking when I was 13, smoked for the next 19 years. Finally found an e-cig in around 2009. I found a root beer flavor, and I haven't looked back.
Wow. Now, in light of so many people getting sick and even dying, how do you continue to advocate for vaping?
Well, I mean, the issue with people dying isn't a nicotine liquid vapor issue. It's an illicit black market THC cannabis issue. The FDA has reported this. The CDC has reported this. There's nothing in a water-soluble liquid nicotine product that can make you sick. It's just not possible.
All right. And Dr. Sims, I'd love to get your thoughts on vaping.
So I just want to address the thought that there's nothing in a vaping capsule that can make you sick. It's just simply not true. I mean, even propylene glycol, which you find in
Stage fog,
it's it's
been
pretty
approved
common.
as safe.
It has been approved for use, but it's also been
Absolutely, it
proven
has.
to be dangerous. People who are exposed to it at greater volumes,
Are you
greater
more
frequency.
concerned about the inhalation of propylene glycol over time, or the inhalation of smoking deadly combustible tobacco
Both.
cigarettes?
Neither is safe.
Well,
Neither is.
Let me get your
Right,
thoughts.
but there's a difference in the level of safety. I mean, would you argue that at least safer means safer, even if it's not 100% safe?
If you know, if you know, but when you look at vaping products, there are multiple components to them. There's the nicotine component, which of course nicotine is nicotine, whether it's in a cigarette or whether it's in a vaping product, it's the same chemical, right? Propylene glycol, it's only...
Well, nicotine's dangerous because it addicts you to
let me bring this
tobacco
back.
cigarettes. I'm
so,
sorry.
it's okay. So for vaping, would you say it's helpful for people to stop smoking? Let me just ask you that question there. Let me know about that.
So if someone is if they have a nicotine addiction, then yes, having another nicotine product helps them transition from one product to the other. I'm not an advocate for vaping as that transitional product for a few reasons. Primarily, it is not FDA approved. In part, the reason it's not FDA approved is because the manufacturers have specifically chosen, and it went up through different levels of court systems, they do not want to be regulated as an FDA approved product for smoking cessation. They are approved as a tobacco recreational product by their own choosing because they don't want to prove that they are safe. They don't want to prove that they are effective. And that's where they stand now.
Okay. And now, Nicholas, so you are about nicotine harm reduction. Is that correct?
Tobacco harm reduction,
Okay.
yes.
And would you say it's fair to say you feel like vaping is healthier than smoking traditional cigarettes?
Far and away healthier, order of magnitude less harmful for you. I mean, the Royal College of Physicians, Public Health England, they're all encouraging their citizens in the United Kingdom to switch without hesitation from cigarettes to vapor products. They have opened vape shops inside hospitals in the United Kingdom to get patients and guests to quit smoking cigarettes. They hope to have a smoke-free society by 2030 utilizing vapor products.
So even with the deaths and people getting sick, you still stand by this?
Absolutely, because the deaths are completely unrelated to nicotine. It's a THC illicit black market cannabis issue.
Okay. Now, when you are vaping the e-cigarettes, are you worried about any other chemicals in there besides the nicotine that could make you sick?
I've been vaping for 10 years. I feel the healthiest I have ever felt in my entire life. Absolutely not.
Okay. So, Dr. Sims, when you hear someone that is vaping and they're not feeling any health effects and they're fine with it, what are your thoughts on that?
I have two thoughts. One, as an individual, a product may work for you. As a population, it may not be generally safe, and that's why when you get FDA approval for a specific purpose, that's how you communicate to the population at large that this is the right way to go. I mean, it's just like when I hear him mention this, I think about people who maybe are suicidal and they are cutters. You know, they slice their wrists repeatedly because that's their way of releasing that compulsion they have. And so, yeah, they don't commit suicide, but they're slicing their wrists, but it's not safe. And when he talks about the UK, the amount of nicotine, the concentration of nicotine, it's about 1/3 of what's allowed in the US. I mean, the US is pretty Wild West. And when it comes to these quote-unquote vaping products, and they're not vaping, they're aerosolized. It's not regulated, we don't know what's in there, and the things that we do know, things like diacetyl, it's known to be harmful.
And what is that?
That's the component of butter that makes butter taste like butter. Everyone thought, oh great, we can have butter flavor without the inconvenience of butter in movie theaters and in microwave popcorn, and they had these factories, and then one person in the factory got sick, and then another, and then people died, and they said, what's going on? And lo and behold, an aerosolized version of diacetyl, which is FDA approved for ingestion, was actually deadly when people are inhaling it. And we've got the same kind of thing happening with these vaping products and the flavoring. They're FDA approved for food flavoring. They're not FDA approved to be aerosolized and inhaled.
Okay, so speaking of these ingredients and these chemicals that are in the vape pens, are you concerned about that for your health, that it might adversely affect you?
No, not at all. There's no diacetyl in any electronic cigarettes. There's 10 times the amount of diacetyl in a traditional combustible tobacco cigarette, and smokers don't get popcorn lung. There's not one single case of any vapor anywhere in the world getting popcorn lung from a vapor product.
Okay. Now, I have to ask, have you considered quitting consuming nicotine altogether?
Yeah, absolutely I have. But it's one of those things, I feel that as an adult, I get to choose my own vices. I see no reason why I can drive to the Ralph's grocery store up the street and buy birthday cake flavored vodka, but I can't go into an adult-only over 21 vape shop and buy strawberry nicotine.
Now, what if someone is not a smoker of traditional cigarettes? Would you still advocate for vaping?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No,
and why
if you're
is
not
that?
a vapor and you're not a smoker, then don't start. Because it is a vice. It's an addiction. It's something, you know, an addiction's a very serious thing. You don't want to be beholden to a little metal battery for the rest of your life. It's just not something you want to do. But if you're an ingrained smoker like I was, 19 years smoking, and I had no intention to quit because I actually enjoyed smoking, then this is going to be a far, far less harmful alternative for you.
And speaking of that kind of far less harmful alternative, Dr. Sims, what are your thoughts on that, vaping versus traditional cigarettes?
As a scientist, as a physician, I want it proven. I think that there is something there, you know, that the habit of being able to have something in your hand and inhale it and get the nicotine rush from it. I think that itself could be a good gateway away from smoking cigarettes, but the way this product came to market and the concentration of nicotine and the other chemicals that are in it, it's clear that they intended to profit, and they're marketing it in a way that's just dangerous for our society, dangerous for the population at large. I think they should do it the right way. Get FDA approval as a smoking cessation device, get it approved in a way that is shown to be safe, make sure that the chemicals in it are safe, and then you can have gentlemen like Nick putting all the information out there saying, hey, here's the way you do it that makes it feel a little bit closer to smoking cigarettes so you can progress with your life, and then you can go down on your nicotine. Right now, it's 3 times in one Juul capsule, it's the amount of nicotine in an entire pack of cigarettes.
Well, thank you both for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Still ahead, the result of our Twitter poll about legislating conversion therapy for gays and lesbians. Welcome back. I'm Renee Ng. Last week, we told you about Congressman Ted Lieu's bill that would ban conversion therapy for gays and lesbians across the country. We wanted to know your thoughts. So in a Twitter poll, we asked, do you think conversion therapy should be legislated? The results, 25% of voters said no, while 75% thought a federal ban was needed. That's it for this edition of InFocus California. We want to hear from you. You can email us at infocusca@charter.com. And to see more of our stories, go to spectruminfocus.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter by searching Renee Ng. Thanks for watching.